All right, so today's Sunday school lesson is coming to you from 1 Samuel chapter 8, verses 4 to 22. We're coming into a little bit of a situation. Up to this point, Israel hasn't had a king over them. It's been pretty much God and the Israelites. And Samuel is now kind of in charge, sort of. They're trusting in him to rule over them, and they wanted a king because they saw all the other nations around them who have kings, and they're like, hey, maybe that would be a good idea for us. Not realizing that with a human king, the grass may not be greener on the other side compared to what you have now. See, up to this point, it was God leading Israel. And so now they've kind of come into a situation where they want a king instead. And so Samuel is coming to God in prayer, like, what do I do about this? They're asking me for a king. His sons were not following in the ways of God, and so they weren't going to be a good candidate for the king. But so now he's like, well, what do I do? Like, the Israelites really want a king. So far, things have worked when we trusted in you, God. You know, like that's kind of the attitude that he's coming to God with. So anyway, we pick up in 1 Samuel chapter 8, verse 4 is where we pick up. So all the elders of Israel gathered together and came to Samuel at Ramah. They said to him, you are old, and your sons do not follow your ways. Now appoint a king to lead us, such as all the other nations have. But when they said, give us a king to lead us, this displeased Samuel. So he prayed to the Lord, and the Lord told him, listen to all that the people are saying to you. It is not you they have rejected, but they have rejected me as their king, as they have done from the day I brought them up out of Egypt until this day, forsaking me and serving other gods. So they are doing to you. Now listen to them, but warn them solemnly and let them know what the king who will reign over them will claim as his rights. Samuel told all the words of the Lord to the people who were asking him for a king. He said, this is what the king who will reign over you will claim as his rights. He will take your sons and make them serve with his chariots and horses, and they will run in front of his chariots. Some he will assign to be commanders of thousands and commanders of fifties, and others to plow his ground and reap his harvest, and still others to make weapons of war and equipment for his chariots. He will take your daughters to be perfumers and cooks and bakers. He will take the best of your fields and vineyards and olive groves and give them to his attendants. He will take 1/10 of your grain and of your vintage and give it to his officials and attendants. Your male and female servants and the best of your cattle and donkeys he will take for his own use. He will take 1/10 of your flocks, and you yourselves will become his slaves. When that day comes, you will cry out for relief from the king you have chosen, but the Lord will not answer you in that day. It goes on. But the people refused to listen to Samuel. No, they said, we want a king over us. Then we will be like all the other nations, with a king to lead us and to go out before us and fight our battles. When Samuel heard all that the people said, he repeated it before the Lord. The Lord answered, listen to them and give them a king. Then Samuel said to the Israelites, everyone go back to your own town. That's from 1 Samuel chapter 8, verses 4 to 22. What I love about this story from the Bible is that we see how it was in the beginning. We see how it was, like God's original plan was for God to be present with us. Think about when he was leading them through the wilderness, and if they had, he was leading them with a cloud, basically a fire, a column of fire and smoke. But further on, he was trying to emphasize over and over again Look, if you trust in me, if you trust in your God, your creator, things are going to be okay. You don't need some other system like a king to rule over you. You don't need principalities over you. You have me. And so Samuel knew that, and that's what frustrated him. And so that's why God was like, all right, well, give them what they want, but give them these warnings. And I'm not trying to come at this politically. It's true, regardless of what political side of the aisle you're on, and even what type of government you live in, whether you have a system over you, like here in America, where we have a legislative, executive, and judicial branch, or you live in a government where there is a king or a monarch or a prime minister or a dictator or whatever you live in, there are times where you agree with what the government is doing, and there are times where you don't. It's never always perfect, which it could have been if we had just trusted in God from the very beginning. I hope y'all took from that what I take from that. Let me know in the comments. Have a great day, and God bless.